welcome back. Just took another little trip here. I'm actually up at my favorite go-to for when I'm at home, that Corps of Engineers campground that's up here in Oklahoma. One of my favorite sites. There's two sites that I really like. This one and then the one right next to it, which is the one I've stayed at quite a bit, the one right next to it. And I had a choice between that one and this one, and I decided to take this one because I do have a tree, and I thought, well, even though the weather is kind of cool, anytime you're in direct sun, it does get a little warm, particularly on one side. So I thought, well, that way I'll have a little shade so the van doesn't get hot from just sitting in the sun. But it's really nice up here. I'm just kind of enjoying being in the van and relaxing. I got up here yesterday afternoon. I actually, so one of my things is I always struggle with, like, what can I cook when I'm in the van? And I found an app that, it's just an app for storing recipes, but it's really cool because it has a built-in little browser. And I'll put a link in the description if you're interested in it. But it has a little built-in browser. And so if you type in the type of recipe you're looking for, or just a generic term like, chicken, it'll bring up different website, like it'll show you a bunch of different recipes. And then if you see one that looks interesting, and if you click on it, then you can actually add it, and it puts it in your collection of recipes. So I was doing that, and I found a few that I'm like, oh, that I could make when I'm in the van. And so last night, one of the ones I found, I don't eat a lot of oatmeal. In fact, I haven't had oatmeal in quite a while. But I found this one, I guess being fall, for pumpkin spice oatmeal. So I made that, I think it was pumpkin spice oatmeal. Was it casserole? I'm not sure. Anyway, well, I made that last night so that I could have it for breakfast this morning. And it was actually really good. It was really good with my coffee. So I'm going to make, I thought I'd make a steak with one of the recipes. I'm not actually following the recipe. It just kind of gave me the idea. But it was tenderloin or filet mignon with blue cheese. And so, you cook the steak, and then you put it in the oven and let the blue cheese kind of melt on top. So I think I'm going to try that today for my lupper, as I call it, or lunch/dinner. And then I also found a recipe, or a few different recipes actually, for tarts. I think I'm going to make one with apple. So I thought, well, that'd be a nice fall thing. So I'm going to try making that. And it's really simple. I actually just got a puff pastry. So I'm not going to, make the dough from scratch or anything like that. But yeah, that's what I thought I would do while I'm here and just enjoying a nice fall day. We don't get, I'm just really dying to see foliage, and we don't really get much foliage here. It just kind of goes from green to brown. I mean, there'll be a tree here and there that turns a pretty color, but it's not like, up north where there's just yellows and reds and oranges. It's just brown with an occasional yellow tree. So anyway, so I'm trying to get that fall feeling. So I'm actually going to make, with my steak, I'm going to have zucchini that I'm going to cook in a pan with salt and pepper and olive oil. And then, or I'm going to brown it. And then I'm also going to make some sushi rice, the sticky rice. I have this little rice cooker, and I did actually get it for the van, actually for my Beyond. And I just really haven't brought it with me. And I've kind of rearranged my cabinet so I can carry some extra cooking things now that I'm going to try out some recipes. So this is the pumpkin casserole I made. It was actually pretty good. Pumpkin spice casserole, I think is what it was called. And these little dishes I actually had, I used to do food photography, not full time. I was doing it part time. Kind of stopped right around when the pandemic hit. But anyway, I had those little containers, those little dishes, actually for photography props. And I was like, wow, those are perfect van size. And they fit perfectly in my little oven. So again, rearranged that cabinet because that cabinet was kind of a nightmare. It kind of was my junk cabinet. So I took everything or most everything out, and now I can keep some of those dishes in there, and then my rice cooker goes in there. And then if I decide I need any other little things, I still have some room in there. So in case you notice something a little bit different here, I actually changed my screen. The original screen was a bug wall, and I switched it out to a roll-off screen. Roll-off is a brand out of Canada, out of Quebec. And what I like about it, it's a thicker material, and the magnet is on this side, so it's easier to get in and out. And then I can roll it up a lot easier here. I do wish this was just slightly over, maybe 3 inches more this way, but there's probably a reason. It might make it too hard to get in and out if it was over too far this way. But overall, it was a pretty easy install too. I was a little nervous taking the bug wall out, but it it actually came out okay. I will say Noovo did a good job installing it. Oh, there goes my alarm. My timer. Yeah, Noovo did a great job installing the bug wall. And I say that because on the Beyond, let me just start my timer. I'd installed the bug wall on the Beyond, and I did one on the back. That one was easy to install. The slider door was really difficult to install. So kudos to Noovo for doing a great job installing the bug wall. The main reason I switched, like I just showed you, there's features to the roll-off I just prefer. I don't particularly care for the bug wall in general. I love the one on the back. I don't care for the slider one. They don't, it really needs to have the magnet on this side, which I don't think bug wall makes one with a magnet on this side. So it makes it a little more cumbersome getting in and out. So anyway, so what I was saying was bug wall needs to, they need to make one with a magnet on this side. They only give you the option of the position of the middle, but it would be easier to have the magnet on this side. But I like the material of this one a little bit better. It's thicker. Installing it was, like I said, it was easier. It's a different kind of install. Man, flies around here. This is why I don't cook outside a lot. This was easier to install than the bug wall, but it was a little difficult on here only because of getting around how the cabinets are and stuff. And I have it, I've only, because you secure it with, if you put it in place with Velcro and then you secure it with screws, and I've only done the top part here because that part would fall down. The rest I haven't secured with the screws yet, just because I want to make sure I have it positioned the way I want it before I start screwing into the cabinetry. So Everything is done. We'll find out how this tastes. Hopefully the steak is cooked enough. Usually it's 4 minutes each side and then 7 minutes in the oven. And I think I did it a little bit longer, so hopefully it's cooked enough or not, and not overcooked. So let's give this a try. Might be a little overcooked, at least on the ends, but because I like it medium rare, and this is definitely medium to well done. Well, not well done, but medium. It's good with the gorgonzola cheese, although I did cook it a little bit too long, I think, in the oven. Let's try the zucchini. The zucchini is actually really good. Well, I'm going to go ahead and enjoy my dinner here. But that came out really good. Now I got to clean up my mess. That's always the fun part. But anyway, so I'm going to get things cleaned up here. I'm debating if I'm going to make the apple tart today. I think I might. We'll see after I get everything cleaned up what I decide to do. And of course, no video's complete without the Misty cam. Misty, what you doing? Hey, Misty, what you doing? I added some lighting up here. It's a strip light, and it actually has an on and off right here. You can see. And then it also has a dimmer. And I added the same thing back here on this side. Same thing, and I've got the on and off here. And then at night, what I'll do is I'll dim it all the way down and then turn off this light. And then when I'm watching TV, it's just a nice little ambient light. Sometimes I use my little, what do you call these, string lights? But I wanted just a little more lighting back here. And then on my way up, when I stopped at H-E-B, of course I had to get a Concha blanket. It's a wearable. I haven't taken it out yet. But yeah, I don't know. H-E-B, man, they suck you in. It's such a cool store. And if you can see my view, looks like I'm right on the lake. Well, I am right on the lake. It's Lake Texoma. Like I've said before, this is one of my favorite places to come up to. So let me flip this around. Yeah, so this is one of my favorite places to come up to when I just want to take a few days away and I'm not going on a long trip. I've got several videos where I've come up here, so you're probably pretty familiar with it. I've been in this spot. I think this is the second time I've been in this spot. Usually, let me just flip it back and I'll show you. Usually I'm in, let's see, where are we? I'm in that spot right there. Let me show you. Yeah, that one right there. And I debated between that one and this one. I like them both. They're both equally my favorite spots. This one does have a tree, so you get a little more shade, and you get a great view of the lake. Like that one, you have a little bit closer view from your window of the lake. Well, I mean, not like this is far, but then this one, you get a closer view out the back. I mean, it looks like I'm on top of the water, even though there's like a hill, where it goes down. But anyway, so yeah, just enjoying a few days up here. I didn't make the apple tart yesterday. After you saw the mess there I had that I had to clean up. After I cleaned up, I was like, I think I'm done cooking. and I don't feel like cleaning up again. And I was kind of full from dinner too. So I think I'm going to go ahead and make it today. Ah, Misty. Let's get the obligatory Misty. There she is. That's the wrong way. There we go. No biting. She's the boss of the van. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. I did move so I moved the TV out here. And that's what I like about this TV, because it actually has a built-in battery. I do have it plugged in, but it does have a battery. It'll run for about 3 hours or so off the battery, if you have it on, just like leaving it on. But I do have it plugged in right now, but that's what's usually sitting on that table back there. I opted to do this instead of putting up a mount and connecting a TV to a mount, just for flexibility. I've thought about a projector, but and you could move that around as well. Like, I did find a screen and I did find a projector that I really liked. I don't know. I tend to leave it on in the background all the time because I have to have background noise. So, which is why I watch Andy Griffith a lot, because I don't have to really pay attention. It's just noise in the background. And I don't know, like, I was thinking, like, the projector I'm looking at, the screen is designed for vehicles. So, like, the way the hooks are on it, I could easily hook it up front, and it's the right size. So I could put it there, I could put it over here, put it in the back. With the projector, because I've never used one before, so with the projector, I'm not sure how, like, all that works yet. So, and it did go on sale when Amazon had its Prime Day about a month ago, and it did drop really good. I think it was like 150 off. I just couldn't pull the trigger. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started on my apple tart here. Misty, hey, come on. Ow, come on. I'm going to need for you to get off the counter, Misty. And she's not allowed on the counters at home. But this being such a small space, I don't really fight it. But at home, it's kind of funny because all I have to do is use a certain tone and she's off the counter. Get off the counter. Misty. See, she doesn't even listen to me now. Come on. All right. Oh, hush. Go ahead and take that off. Okay, I'm gonna slice these up. I don't know why this apple is, either this blade has gotten really dull or this is a tough apple. I'm willing to bet the blade's probably pretty dull. I actually just ordered a automatic can opener or electric can opener because this is actually the second one I've been through. The first one, I was opening a can and this part broke. And then I got this one and I was opening the can of pumpkin the other day and it was really hard to get the can open. And I have a feeling this piece is going to break again. So thought, you know what, just get an electric one. And the electric one actually comes with a little knife sharpener, so hopefully I can sharpen these knives because this is kind of dull too. So this is the pastry that I got. It's actually puff pastry. Probably would be better off with pie crust, but this is all they had. So we are going to find out how this is going to work. I'm trying to figure out, because I want to be able to fold it over. So if you know, maybe I will use the whole thing. It might be, if I go this way. Actually, you know what? I think I could probably use the whole thing. All right, let's get the pumpkin. I got the apple pie spice and sugar. Kind of adjusted my camera there. I'll be honest, I am just kind of winging it here. I'm just gonna mix some apple pie and apple pie spice and sugar. That smells so good. I probably should look at a recipe to get measurements, but we're just going with it here. It's van life, small kitchens. Let me see, maybe 1/3 of a cup. Might be too much, but this is, like I said, we're winging it. Okay, I'm gonna put some of this in here. Well, I guess you can't jump up here, can you? Let me go ahead and turn this thing on and preheat it. I actually have a little pie plate, but since this is puff pastry, I don't know how it would cook in that. So I'd rather just make it as a tart. And I'm really hoping that I'm not just recording all of this, that it never sees the light of day, because I have actually recorded other cooking videos in the past, and they always just come out, I don't know, not great. I think I've only ever actually posted one cooking video. And it's not that I can't cook. I mean, I can cook. I'm not a complete disaster in the kitchen, but I just don't have that polished finesse, or, you know, that where everything looks so, which you would think, you know, having done food photography, and I did some of my own food styling, most of the time, or a lot of the time, I would work with a chef who would do the food styling for me. But, you know, depending on budgets, sometimes I had to do my own. So you would think, having done that, I'd be a little bit better at trying to do a cooking video. But all right, I think that should do it. Now, let's see what we're gonna do here with folding this over. Well, That was fun getting it off the paper. I should have taken it off the paper before I started putting the apples in. So that's why it wasn't on camera. A lot of interesting words. There's a reason I don't do cooking videos very often, or I've only ever done one. All right. I'm going to do an egg wash on here. We'll see. And I'm going to use the bowl that I had the apples in, and there's a little bit of cinnamon, so we're going to see how this is just all a grand experiment at this point. And I do have a brush. All right, now we are going to put it in here. I did set it to little over 350. We'll see. And let's give it like 20 minutes. It may not need that. I'm going to have to keep checking it because it might not need that long. And in the meantime, I'm going to clean up this mess. It looks good. We'll see. It kind of got messed up when I had to try to get it off the paper, so I don't know how pretty it's going to be. I tried to fix it a little bit. I took a look at the package, pays to read instructions. I could have left the paper in there because it was actually parchment. And I kind of, in my mind, thought maybe it was, but yeah, read the package. Anyway, so I wouldn't have had to mess up my little tart, but yeah, it's puffing up because it is puff pastry. So next time I'm going to try it with the pie crust because that would be more like a tart. This is really kind of like a pop over, but not popped over because I didn't fully cover it. But which I guess I could have done a pop over, but I really wanted to make a tart. All right, I think I'm going to go ahead and take it out. I'll show you what it looks like here. It looks pretty good. Set it over here. Actually, I have one of these. Let's see. There. I'll turn that off for now. Well, it looks interesting, so I'll show you what it looks like here. So it looks pretty good. It definitely, puff pastry, it puffed up. So we'll see how it actually tastes. But that was a fun first attempt. Like I said, next time I'm going to try to get pie crust. They just didn't have any. That's why I ended up getting the puff pastry. Well, I just finished dinner. Came out really good. I made the steak again with a gorgonzola. I just did the steak this time. I didn't do the zucchini and rice and all that. But it came out really good this time. I didn't cook it as long in the oven, so I got it nice and medium rare, so it was perfect. I don't know what these they look like ladybugs, but I don't think they are. That I'm not killing them because in case they are ladybugs, I don't want to hurt them. I know there's like some, I have to look it up, but there is a bug that looks like a ladybug, but it's like not the nice ladybug. That's just all I know. But anyway, so I just cleaned up from everything. I'm gonna relax for a little bit before I dive into dessert. Let's see, looks like the sun is kind of moving here. I'm gonna move the camera. Well, let's see. Is that better? Yeah, that's a little bit better. So, yeah, I'm just going to relax for a little bit. Maybe make some coffee a little bit later and try my puff pastry tart, apple tart. my little dessert experiment here in the van. Okay, so I'm going to slice a piece of this, and I did notice, again, had I read the label and just left the parchment paper, because I think this is actually kind of stuck on the bottom. So we're going to see what happens here, but I'm going to slice a piece. I think I'm going to slice it maybe right about here. Trying to be careful too, because it's a non-stick pan. Although it is stuck on here. I think I got it. All right. Yeah, it's stuck. All right. Let's see how this came out. Let's get some apple. Let's get a little bit of the pastry here. Like I said, it really should have been pie crust, not puff pastry, but it's how we learn, right? Actually came out really good. The pastry tastes good. The apple with the apple pie spice is really good. Yeah, this came out pretty good. Pretty good for an experiment. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy this. Made some espresso coffee. Well, dark roast. Well, no, I guess it is espresso, but I brewed it as coffee. Hits the spot. Anyway, I'm gonna enjoy this, and then I guess clean up once again. I got to figure out how I'm gonna put this away, because I don't think I might have a container that'll fit in, but I'm gonna have to soak that pan. Anyway, lesson learned. I should have left the parchment paper on.